Hello friends. Today we're talking about something that could truly change a life. There are rare Susan B. Anthony dollar coins that may be worth far more than anyone expects. One of them could be sitting in your pocket, hidden in a drawer, or resting in an old coin collection right now. At first glance, these coins look ordinary. Many people pass them by without a second thought. But inside certain dates, mint marks, and conditions are secrets that can turn a $1 coin into a treasure worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even more. Today we're taking a closer look at a special Susan B. Anthony dollar that collectors pay close attention to. It proves that sometimes a simple dollar is anything but simple. We begin with the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar made at the Denver Mint. On the surface it looks like pocket change. But under the right conditions, this coin can reach astonishing prices. When the Susan B. Anthony dollar was released, it made history. It was the first U.S. dollar coin to feature a real woman. Susan B. Anthony spent her life fighting for women's rights and equality. Her image on this coin represents strength, courage, and progress. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, each marked with a small d. Most were used in everyday purchases and became worn over time. Those coins are usually worth $1 or maybe $2 or $3 at most. But a tiny number of these coins were different. Some 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars were never used. They stayed clean, sharp, and untouched. These rare examples are the ones collectors fight over. Coins in average condition are common. But coins in near perfect or perfect condition are extremely rare. When a 1979 coin has flawless surfaces, sharp details, and a deep, clear mint mark, its value can rise fast. High-grade examples have sold for thousands of dollars. Some have reached $10,000 to $20,000 at auction. And in the highest certified grades, a few exceptional coins have sold for $50,000 or more. These prices surprise many people because the coin looks so ordinary. Most folks mistake it for a quarter. Feels light, looks simple, and often gets ignored. But this is where coin collecting becomes exciting. The greatest treasures often hide in plain sight. Imagine opening an old box saved by a parent or grandparent. You see a Susan B. Anthony dollar and think nothing of it. Then you notice the shine. The surface looks smooth. The details are sharp. The D mint mark stands out clearly. That's the moment everything changes. What once seemed like pocket change could suddenly be worth more than a car, more than a year's salary, or even enough to help pay for a home. The value of a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar isn't about how old it is. It's about condition, rarity, and collector demand. Most were worn down by daily use. Only a handful survived in perfect shape. Collectors aren't just buying metal. They're buying history. They're buying a coin that represents progress and a moment in time that will never return. Millions of these coins exist, and most people still ignore them. But hidden among the many are rare survivors so perfect that they stand apart as true treasures. This coin teaches an important lesson. Wealth doesn't always look valuable at first. That old coin jar, that forgotten drawer, or even your wallet could be holding something extraordinary. One moment it's just a dollar. The next moment, it's a discovery that could change your financial future. That rush of excitement is what makes coin collecting so powerful. Owning a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar isn't just about money. It's about holding a piece of American history. It's about honoring a woman who helped change the nation. It's about appreciating the story behind a small piece of metal. When you find one in top condition, you're holding more than a coin. You're holding opportunity. So the next time you come across a Susan B. Anthony dollar, don't toss it aside. Look closely. Check the mint mark. Study the shine. Notice the details, because the right 1979 coin, preserved perfectly and untouched by circulation, isn't just worth a dollar. Could be worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even more. It's proof that sometimes, the most ordinary objects hold the most extraordinary surprises. And you never know, the next coin you pick up could be the one that changes your story forever. Next on our list is a dollar coin that didn't make much noise at first, but went on to change American money in a lasting way. It's the 1979 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin from the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a small but important letter P. At first glance, this coin doesn't seem special. It's small, silver in color, and often confused with a quarter. Most people have handled one at some point. Many spent it, ignored it, or dropped it into a drawer without a second thought. For a long time, Americans saw this coin as clumsy, unpopular, and unnecessary. But history often hides important stories inside very ordinary things. The year 1979 was a major moment for U.S. coins. For the first time ever, a real woman appeared on everyday American money. Susan B. Anthony was not a symbol or a legend from long ago. She was a real person who spent her life fighting for fairness and women's rights. Putting her face on a dollar coin was a bold move. It stirred strong feelings and caused debate at the time. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins. Because so many were made, most people believed they would never matter much. Interest faded quickly, and many of these dollars were spent, stored away, or forgotten. But coin collectors know something that others often miss. Rarity is not just about how many coins were made. It's about how many are still perfect today. That's where the 1979 Philadelphia Susan B. Anthony dollar becomes special. Only a small number were kept safe before everyday use could damage them. These coins have no scratches, no wear, and no dull spots. The edges are sharp, the surfaces are clean, and the details are clear. They survived the years untouched, and that sets them apart. When you see a flawless one up close, the difference is easy to spot. Susan B. Anthony's face looks strong and confident. Every detail stands out. The lettering is clean and sharp. On the back, the eagle landing on the moon is bold and well-defined. At that point, it stops being just a dollar coin. It becomes a piece of preserved history. Now imagine finding one by chance. Maybe it was saved by a parent or grandparent. Maybe it sat quietly in a box, an envelope, or a jar for years. At first, it may not seem like anything special. Just another odd-looking dollar. Then you notice the shine, the untouched surface, and the small P mint mark. Suddenly that coin feels different. This is how everyday people, not expert collectors, sometimes make amazing discoveries. Not by hunting for treasure, but by noticing what others overlook. Collectors value the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar for more than its condition. They treasure what it stands for. It represents progress, bravery, and change. Susan B. Anthony's story gives the coin deep meaning, and emotion plays a big role in value. When strong feelings meet true scarcity, prices can rise quickly. At major auctions, when a perfect example appears, excitement builds fast. Bidding becomes intense. Collectors know they are not just buying metal. They are competing for a moment in American history that can never be repeated. As demand grows, prices climb. A coin once worth only $1 can suddenly sell for surprising amounts. In the finest condition, some have stunned experts and changed expectations. This reminds us that real value isn't always easy to see at first. That's part of what makes this coin so fascinating. It's not locked behind museum glass. It's not owned only by the wealthy. Some are still out there, resting quietly in drawers, boxes, old collections, and family keepsakes. That possibility keeps the dream alive. A small, overlooked coin waiting patiently to be noticed. That's why collectors never stop looking. And that's why stories like this continue to inspire. The idea that something so simple could quietly change a life is what makes coin collecting feel like a true treasure hunt. So the next time you see a Susan B. Anthony dollar, pause for a moment. Don't rush. Don't spend it right away. Take a closer look. Check the mint mark. Notice the condition. Because if the right 1979 Philadelphia Susan B. Anthony dollar ends up in your hand, you're holding more than money. You're holding history. Imagine finding a coin that looks small, plain, and easy to overlook, yet turns out to be worth more than many houses. That sounds hard to believe, but it has happened with a small number of 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coins made at the San Francisco Mint. At first glance, these coins seem ordinary. For decades, people handled them, spent them, or stored them away without giving them much thought. Nothing about them appeared special. But hidden details turned a few of these coins into stunning surprises. When you hold one, it feels just like any other dollar coin. The color is a light silver gray, the same look you expect from a copper-nickel coin. Some examples show scratches and wear from years of use. Others still shine because they were protected early on. On the front, Susan B. Anthony's face shows strength and determination. On the back, the eagle landing on the moon reminds us of an important moment in American history. Everything about the design feels familiar. The real surprise appears when you look closely at the small S mint mark. In 1979, the San Francisco Mint was producing proof coins meant to look clean and sharp. The mint mark was supposed to be clear and well-shaped. But early in production, some of the tools used to stamp the letter were worn or damaged. Because of this, a small number of coins left the mint with unusual mint marks. On some coins, the S looks filled in. On others, it appears doubled or oddly shaped. These mistakes were not planned, but they created something rare. Collectors now refer to these as S mint mark errors, and the version with the large date is especially valuable. Once the problem was discovered, the mint quickly replaced the tools. That meant only a short group of coins was affected. Out of the millions of Susan B. Anthony dollars made that year, only a tiny number show this strange S. That is why finding one today is so difficult. At the same time, the mint was dealing with another big change. The large Eisenhower dollar was being phased out and replaced by the smaller Anthony dollar. During this transition, some leftover silver blanks from earlier coins were still nearby. These blanks were never meant to be used for the new dollar. But in the rush of production, a few were struck by mistake. Because of this error, a very small number of Susan B. Anthony dollars were made on silver. These coins feel different right away. They weigh slightly more. They shine brighter. When tapped, they make a clear ringing sound instead of a dull thud. Collectors noticed these signs and began testing coins. Some were confirmed to be genuine silver mistakes. Suddenly, a modern coin became a rare connection between two different eras of U.S. coinage. Even without silver, the large date S error is extremely valuable. The damaged mint mark alone can turn a normal-looking coin into a major prize. When a coin shows the large date, the faulty S, and a silver blank together, it becomes one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever discovered. Some of these coins have sold for unbelievable amounts. One certified example was sold privately for more than $200,000. Another brought well over $175,000. These prices shocked collectors because the coin is not ancient. It comes from a time many people still remember. Over the years, values have continued to rise. In the early 1980s, one of these coins might have sold for just over $1,000. By the 1990s, prices climbed much higher. As interest in modern minting errors grew, demand exploded. Today, top examples have pushed past $180,000. Some experts believe the next confirmed silver version could approach $300,000 at auction. That kind of value seems unreal for a coin from the era of disco music and early microwave ovens. But rare minting mistakes work that way. One small error can change everything. There is also a deeper reason collectors care so much about this coin. Susan B. Anthony spent her life fighting for equal rights. She was ignored, criticized, and dismissed, yet she never stopped pushing forward. Her coin followed a similar path. It was unpopular and overlooked at first, only to be recognized later as meaningful and important. In many ways, the story of the coin reflects the story of the woman it honors. Today, collectors examine every 1979 San Francisco dollar very carefully. They study the mint mark, the size of the date, the weight of the coin, and even the sound it makes. With this issue, appearances can be deceiving. A coin that looks ordinary could be one of the greatest modern minting mistakes ever found. That is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Incredible discoveries don't always come from ancient ruins or sunken ships. Sometimes they come from simple places like old drawers, jars, or forgotten change. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar proves that even modern coins can hold mystery, history, and surprising value. So if you ever come across one with an S mint mark, take your time and look closely. That small letter may be hiding one of the most fascinating stories the U.S. Mint has ever created. As we've seen, these Susan B. Anthony dollars remind us that even everyday coins can hold incredible secrets. What once seemed ordinary can become something truly special. And sometimes, the biggest discoveries come from the smallest places. So the next time you sort through old change or spot a Susan B. Anthony dollar, pause for a moment. You never know what hidden treasure might be resting in your hand. If you enjoyed learning about these remarkable coins, be sure to subscribe to Coin Action for more stories, discoveries, and tips from the world of coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.